Welcome, welcome, welcome to Hermetically Speaking with your vessel, Toriea, transmitting alchemy, mystic psychology, and channeled messaging for all of our days. Here, we explore the sacred, the shadow, and the infinite spiral path of awakening so you can remember who you are beneath the programming and rebuild yourself from the inside out. And as always, go back to episode 1 for my disclaimers on mystic psychology and the fact that I am not a medical professional, and everything I speak on is through experience and an energetic standpoint rooted in the ancient wisdom of Hermeticism. Therefore, if you are seeking medical advice of any kind, please consult a licensed professional. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the You Are the Wealth Reuniting Spirit and Survival frequency we are outputting today. This episode is for the upset, the anger, and the manipulation we may feel on our spiritual journeys. We hope you enjoy it, along with all the rest. And if you have any podcast requests, please feel free to leave a comment or send us a message, and we will try to get that out to you. So, there's something deep, something that's kind of been coming from the depths of my purgatory that I need to speak on today. I'm called to speak on, want to speak on. It's funny how alignment works that way, right? Even in anger. And it's not just for myself. It's for anyone who's on a spiritual path and felt the deep gut level frustration when it comes to the frequency of money. Not energetic abundance, not prosperity consciousness, not the poetic metaphors about abundance being in a breeze or a smile or the sun on your skin. Actual, tangible, real world pay the rent money. We live in a world where our entire system is built around currency. From birth, we are trained to associate money with safety, freedom, nourishment, power, survival. And yet many of us, once we step in to the spiritual path, are told to transcend that very thing. We are told that money is just energy, or don't chase the material, or you're already abundant inside, or non-attachment, detachment. And while some of that holds a very deep truth, it can often get distorted, twisted into this ungrounded bypassing where you're somehow less spiritual if you want to get paid well, if you want to eat well, or live in an overflow of monetary value. And quite frankly, it's exhausting because what we're naming or what we're not naming in this, most of us are healing from financial trauma just as much as emotional or generational trauma, solely based on the way our society is built, not to mention in the situations that we may have grown up in. We've been taught to shrink our needs to survive. We've inherited scarcity that no longer belongs to us. And then we're guilted for trying to rise out of it because it doesn't look spiritual enough, or because it looks too much like the ones that have deprecated us for so long. So let me say it now, clearly and with a full breath. It is not a betrayal of your spirit to want money. It is not a betrayal of your path to want to be paid. And it is not a betrayal of your soul to want to thrive. And in fact, the more I untangle from the false divide between money and mysticism, the more I realize they were never meant to be separated in the first place. Because you are the wealth, not as a metaphor, as a living embodiment. And that's where we're going to tap into the Mantis frequency, like always, and we are going to really see what they have to offer in embodying the wealth code. Because when I think and when I hear you are wealth, that makes me think of, oh, because I have clothes on my back, I'm wealthy. Oh, because I have a house, I'm wealthy. Oh, because I have recording podcast equipment, I'm wealthy, right? Like I have a family, I have this, I have that. I have things that other people don't have, or don't even want. And so therefore I'm wealthy. We're going to break that down. We're going to understand, like, when we say wealth, we mean the money frequency, and there is nothing wrong with that. Yes, it's good to look at everything else that makes you wealthy and to understand that you embody everything. However, for those of us that have lived in scarcity and have trauma with finances and money, whatever that trauma may be, the Mantis frequency is going to bring in some resonance and some verbiage and some activation here to help us. And so we're going to go ahead and tap into the Mantis frequency, and we're going to see what insight they have to offer. To shame money is to shame matter. And to shame matter is to forget the sacredness of your incarnation. You came not to escape the world. You came to infuse it, to bring light into structure, form, flow, flesh. Wealth is not a number. It is not a possession. It is not even a destination. Wealth is a resonance, a signal that says, my field is clear enough to receive the reflection of my worth. And yet, your world wrapped this signal in distortion, told you to hustle for it, told you to fear losing it, told you to worship it, then punished you for wanting it. These were implants, misalignments. You were coded for divine receipt, for graceful flow, for enoughness that spills beyond survival and into joy. You do not ascend by rejection. You ascend by integration. Integrate the coin into the altar. Integrate the body into the prayer. Integrate the dollar into the divinity. The earth does not resent your longing for wealth. She only asks, will you keep your heart open while receiving it? And let me pause here, because this is the part we're told to feel good about, but it's also the part that can feel the most painful. And it also reminds us of how maybe the ones that have come before us and created the paradigms that we are breaking, maybe they lost their heart. Maybe they made decisions that hardened their heart because they put money before all else. So we're told, if you light up a room with your energy, you are wealth. If you help others remember who they are, you are wealth. If your presence shifts someone's life, you are wealth. And while I personally know that there is truth in that, and I'm sure that you do too, I also know what it feels like when that truth doesn't pay the bills. When you're staring down at a shut-off notice or homelessness, or just not being able to buy a gift for someone that you want, or buy something for yourself that you desire. When your body can't relax into presence and into that freedom because it's bracing for running out, or more debt, or overdraft fees, or delinquency. That is part of the real trauma. And it's not healed by metaphors alone. I've lived in that ping-pong space. 1 month I'm breathing easier, and the next I'm begging the universe to just let me cover the basics. And that's not how I want to live. That's not my divinity. That's not what my sovereignty teaches me. And in those moments, hearing that I am wealth can feel more like a slap than a blessing. So I want to say this clearly. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to be angry. You are allowed to want to cry. You are allowed to let the tears flow. You are allowed to want more without guilt, without shame, and without needing to turn it into poetry or wrap it in a pretty bow or make it look spiritual on every shape or form. Because we cannot bypass survival and call it spiritual. And we shouldn't have to be broke to prove our integrity. We shouldn't have to suffer to prove our spirituality. The truth is, yes, we are wealth in our being. We are divine gold in every breath that we take. And that truth deserves to be mirrored in our reality, in our paychecks, in our bank accounts, in our lived experience, not just in our auras or in our knowings. So if this part of the episode hits a nerve, I see you, I am you, and this conversation is for you. And so we'll pick back up with the Mantis frequency and what they have to offer. And recoding the shame of survival is what they've named this portion. We do not offer empty comfort. We do not ask you to pretend that starvation is sacred. We see the ping-pong, the surge, then the scarcity, the breath of relief, followed by the gut clench of collapse. This is not your failure. This is a collective imprint of conditional receipt. A system that taught you to survive in fragments, to expand only when it was convenient for the cage. And I'm just going to pause because I'm going to insert something that you guys might be able to resonate with, which is, I feel this line fluidly, right? Like I get really safe. I have some money. I work on commissions. And so, I can get an abundance of commissions at one time and I feel safe. I feel secure. I feel like I can let my guard down and breathe and relax into life and enjoy life for a little bit. And in that safety, it's like the flow kind of drops off. And then the money starts to run out, and then I'm starting to panic, and then I need to manifest and magnetize again some more commissions. Like that's not what this is supposed to be. If I am wealth always, then why do my manifestations and my magnifications drop off? Why am I not in that safety still collecting the frequency of money? What is wrong with me in that portion? What am I not doing right? Like, see where this mindset goes? Like, this is not where my mind is supposed to go. I am sovereign. I am divine. I am wealthy inside and out. So where is the glitch? And so the Mantis go on to say, you were not born for the ping pong. You were born for the pulse. A steady rhythm of flow, of receptivity without retraction, of yes, I give, and yes, I receive, without guilt, without fear, without collapse. You must know the wound is not that you want to receive. The pain is not in the longing. The true trauma of Earth's finance is this: that your desire was twisted into guilt, that your need was used against you, that you were taught to fear the very thing that sustains you. Wanting support is not a flaw. Needing money is not a corruption. It is in the programming that tells you you must contort your truth to deserve it. And I see a paradox here, and I'm sorry, I'm a little sniffly. I don't know if it's allergies or what it is. And I've got, I'm welling up in this episode actually too, but the sniffling was beforehand. Anyways, not that you want to hear about that. When it says needing money is not a corruption, that goes for both sides of the coin. Like, we have to maybe remove the fact that people with money are corrupt because money is its own frequency and the corruption is its own frequency. And people with large amounts of money also do good things that we don't see. We see a lot of the corruption because we focus on the negative. That's what we're taught to do. That's what society has ingrained in us. Focus on the shame, focus on the guilt, focus on the cancel culture, focus on all of these things. Don't look at what they're doing on the other side. Don't focus on what good is coming out of it. Do a 5-second clip on goodness and a 50-second clip on fear. So we need to remove money from corruption in our own minds and in our own distorted way of thinking. Because if we're looking at other people as they received money in a corruption flow, that's going to affect how we perceive money. And we need to dissect that. We need to eradicate it. We need to do a spiritual surgical process that completely transmutes and separates and transcends the corruption out of how we view people in the elite or people with money or more money than us that, that they've done it in a corrupt manner. Maybe those two frequencies are completely separate. And yes, they can become maybe entangled, but our issue in looking at them in an entangled way creates an enmeshment that is unhealthy for our divinity, our sovereignty, and our ability to perceive in a way that is a higher conscious frequency. So we are taught, again, it is in the programming that tells us that we must contort our truth to deserve it, that we must perform joy to attract it, and that we must detach from it to be deemed worthy of more. What fractured us was the conditioning that said, you must earn rest. You must struggle for security. You must sacrifice your truth to deserve stability. And so the Mantis offer this now as a recoding. You may love money. You may want it deeply. You may need it right now. And you are still pure. Do not suppress your longing. Make it conscious, sacred, claimed. Call it home to your heart and say, I will no longer abandon myself to appear above or below my needs. For you are not just the light. You are the nervous system learning how to hold it. The next era is not ascended. It is anchored. Abundance that touches the ground. Wealth that meets the rent, and gold that moves through your hands, not just your halo. And it's interesting that they touch on this because, we keep hearing that there's going to be more millionaires and billionaires birthed into the world, and not necessarily like they're being, coming out of a physical womb and we have to wait, whatever age they become. It's consciously, etherically, it's anybody at any age, and it's people that are, not as connected to the wealth frequency or the elite, that 1% that we have known and been raised with to know. So this anchoring is pivotal, right? Like we literally have to anchor it in for more people to become millionaires and billionaires and just live in an abundance of overflowing, never-ending money. So abundance that touches the ground, that is anchored into the earth. So it can touch our hands to move through us. In addition to the wealth that flows through our halos and our entire being. So this podcast is, we always kind of wrap it up with some type of meditation, activation, integration. And that's where we are now in this episode, is remembering that you are the wealth. So whatever you're doing, You're allowed to just listen and continue with your own movement, running on the treadmill, walking, working, driving, whatever it may be. And if it's safe to do so, place your hand over your heart or over your belly or over your arm, wherever your body calls. Listen to your body as we step into this freeing for our being activation from the Mantis frequency. Breathe. And let this moment soften what has been hardened by fear. Let it hold what has been rejected by shame. Let it welcome back what was sent away when survival became louder than your truth. Because this is where we integrate. You are not here to fake abundance. You are not here to force abundance. You are here to remember it, to reclaim it, to let it move through your nervous system, not as a concept, but as a current. So repeat with me now slowly, whether in your mind or out loud. I am not waiting on money. I am remembering that I am the money. Again, I am not waiting on money. I am remembering that I am the money. And one more time to alchemize. I am not waiting on money. I am remembering that I am money. Feel that land in your body. You are not the struggle. You are not the system. You are not the ping-pong of survival. You are the signal. You are the current. You are the frequency the vibration. You are the one who says, I no longer shrink my feelings, my thoughts, or my needs to match the world. I expand my world to meet the truth of my needs. Let the pulse of your body speak louder than the programming now. Feel your breath. Feel the electricity behind your eyes. Feel your fingers, your feet, your voice returning. And when you step forward from this episode, know this isn't just another teaching. It's a turning point. You don't have to pretend anymore. You don't have to bypass what's real. You are sacred, and so is your need. You are the wealth. You are the money. You are the remembrance. And you are already enough. So open your eyes, your heart, your soul, your entire being to receiving exactly how you are. A full-length activating meditation will be released this Friday to pair with this episode, and an energy therapy session will be released the following Monday to help integrate. Feel free to find both on the Hermetically Speaking YouTube channel. Thank you for being here with me today, for sitting in the discomfort, for staying open, for remembering. This isn't just a conversation about money. It's a conversation about sovereignty, about healing, about returning to the truth of who we are fully. If this episode stirred something in you, know that you are not alone. These are the conversations that break spells, that open timelines, that change lives, not through hype, through honest remembrance, raw emotion, and real reality. And as always, this space isn't just mine, it's yours. So take what resonated, let it settle, let it move through your body in the coming days. And if you feel called, share this with someone else who might need it. Until next time, keep walking as the frequency, keep creating from the pulse, and keep remembering you are the wealth, you are the money, you are the remembrance, and this world is ready for what you carry. Remember, you are the temple, you are the flame, you are the frequency. Let us find each other in harmony. If this episode spoke to your soul, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Not only does this support the podcast, it lets me know how I can continue to be of service as we walk this healing path together, as well as spreading the love and healing further. Your presence, your listening, your evolution, they ripple out farther than you know. Thank you for being here. Thank you for becoming who you are. Until next time, keep speaking the truth your soul remembers. Namaste and many blessings on your way. If you are looking for more ways to connect, please check out the Hermetically Speaking YouTube channel for all the free meditations, energy sessions, hypnosis regression, and other avenues of healing, or the hermeticallyspeaking.com website for one-on-one by donation services.